The Beatles' award-winning album Sargent Pepper was at the head of its class for innovation. But pop culture writer and Beatles expert Robert Rodriguez explores how Revolver became the game changer for rock and roll in his newest book, Revolver: How the Beatles Reimaged Rock and Roll. Our own Becky Anderson talks with Rodriguez in this week's edition of Authors Revealed.
Welcome to Authors Revealed. I'm Becky Anderson. I'm so excited. We have one of the greatest Beatles expert, and he lives right here in the Chicagoland area. It's Robert Rodriguez and his new book, Revolver: How the Beatles Reimagined Rock and Roll. Well, Robert, welcome to Anderson's.
Thanks for having me. Great to be here.
Well, it's great to have one of our, I think probably one of our greatest Beatles expert, and you live right here in the Chicago area. Oh, I consider you this. I mean, the stuff you put into your book, I'm just blown away by what you know about this group and about music. So
yeah, and parlaying the geekiness into something valuable, I guess.
Well, no, it's valuable to a lot of people because I think this is a band more than any other that probably captures so many people.
Oh, definitely.
And their love of this music. So
it doesn't even slow down. It's unbelievable.
No, and there's new generations discovering this music all the time.
Yeah, and the product never stopped coming. You know, Magical Mystery Tour is on its way now.
Yeah.
DVD.
Yeah, it's very cool. So your newest book, Revolver, has been out a few months. So, and how the Beatles reimagined rock and roll. So tell us, you've written other books about the Beatles. So how is this book different?
Well, it was, you know, in the past I did the Fab Four FAQ book originally, just as sort of a comprehensive telling of their career from the teenage Quarrymen years to the breakup. And I wanted to, it was all in the presentation where each chapter covered one particular facet or another of their career. So it was a way to present a lot of information in a way that was user-friendly, and the readers really ran with it, and it was great.
You know, George Martin and what he did with the Beatles, was Paul really the influence? You know, in Revolver, the instrumentation, that's when it really got so interesting.
Oh, yes.
And the levels and the layers were so great, you know. Did George Martin have much influence, or was this all Paul, you know, as a producer, or what Paul was doing as a musician, do you think?
I think before Revolver, it was certainly George Martin that had the ideas, because he had the musical education and background. And so he could suggest, you know, like he did with Yesterday, I think a string quartet would be perfect for this. I mean, they were getting ready to rehearse it in the studio with drums and maybe a keyboard part, and it would have been a completely different record. He was the one that had the musical vocabulary to bring that palette to the table. And where initially they were a little bit resistant, I think once Yesterday became the big hit that it was, and then they started, you know, opening the door to not limiting themselves to what they could reproduce on stage, I think that, yeah, Paul definitely was the one who had probably the widest taste among the four Beatles.
Well, Robert, thank you so much. It's been great talking with you.
Thank you.
Can't get enough of the Beatles, so.
Great, thank you.
Thanks so much. What a great conversation with Robert Rodriguez, a book about the Beatles. It's Revolver: How the Beatles Reimagined Rock and Roll. Back to you, Jen.
Thanks, Becky. If you're interested in the full interview with Robert Rodriguez, visit our website at nctv17.com for a list of airtimes.